and social protection. Could the Cabinet Secretary explain the circumstances that led to the retrenchment of over 20,000 tea pluckers in Konoin constituency, multinational tea companies? Could the Cabinet Secretary state measures the ministry is putting in place to mitigate the consequences that arise from the mechanization which has affected the small and medium-sized wages and the overall effect on to the economy? Question number 3. Further, what measures is the ministry taking on the mechanized tea handlers who face serious health risks due to excessive continuous exposure to monoxide fumes from the machines they use in plucking and also handling? Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
The question goes to the relevant committee. Next, member for Baringo Central, Joshua Kandie.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand to ask question number 017 of 2022. The question goes to the Cabinet Secretary for Roads and Transport. 1. Could the Cabinet Secretary explain measures that have been put in place to ensure maximum utilization of Eldoret International Airport for both passengers and cargo? 2. Could the ministry consider enhancing the airport's cargo handling capacity? 3. Could the ministry consider expanding the airport's runway to accommodate bigger capacity planes and therefore promote the entry of more cargo? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Kande. Your question is referred to the relevant committee. Next, Peter Masara.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Pursuant to Standing Order number 42A5, I rise to ask question number 19 of 2022 to the Cabinet Secretary in charge of Interior and National Administration. 1. Considering unknown people raided Maranatha Faith Assembly Church on 3rd November 2022, killing Mr. Cedric Onduto Otieno of ID number 3969 61 91 and Mr. Francis Amboka Owado of ID number 3966 273 and stealing church instrument worth over 1 million Kenya shillings. Number 2, what measures are the ministry putting in place to address the personnel understaffing, inadequate vehicles and equipment for the security agencies in Suna West Sub-County? And then 3, further, could the ministry outline the time frames required to resolve all pending cases of security in the area Suna West Sub-County? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. The question is referred to the relevant committee. Next order.
Order number 8, tree planting along the roadsides. And order number 8, motion, tree planting along the roadsides and road reserves. Question to be put.
Order, honorable members. Order, honorable Mukami. Order. Today you have been very mobile in the House. Order, honorable members. We have a question to be put on order number 8, Kiari's motion. Immediately after the question, the clerk will be directed to ring the bell, division bell, for 10 minutes, after which we'll go into division, and the voting will start at approximately 11:15, and you know you cannot interrupt division. I'm advised that there and come back, but there will be no closure until we finish. Honorable members, I'll now put the question on order number 8, that are aware that Article 42 of the Constitution accords every person the right to a clean and healthy environment, and that Article 69, 1D also mandates the state to encourage public participation in the management, protection, and conservation of the environment. Further aware that the deforestation is one of the main contributions to climate change, noting that Kenya has not been spared by the effects of global warming and climate change as a result of deforestation, among other aspects. Also aware that the road network in the country currently stands at approximately 177,800 kilometers with a development rate of 600 kilometers per annum. Deeply concerned that there has been persistent destruction of trees and vegetation along the road reserves and roadsides during road construction, leading to adverse effects on the ecosystem. Cognizant that studies have shown that the benefits accumulated from roadside tree planting include better soil formation due to shedding of dead leaves, increased water quality by reducing sediment flow, reduced erosion, road beautification, flood control as the trees slow and absorb water runoff, wind breaking, providing important pollinator habitats, improving people's health, and protecting crops. Now, therefore, this House resolves that the government includes a component of tree planting in all road networks design, and also makes it compulsory for road contractors to replace any tree harvested during road construction upon completion of the project. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. We'll now ring the division bell for 10 minutes as the clerk and the presiding officer prepares the voting booths and members get ready to start your voting. But before that, the Honorable Otienda Amolo had a point of order on this issue. I'll give him a chance.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I listened to your 26 paragraphs of the communication very keenly on the rules of and procedure of voting, and I welcome them. Mr. Speaker, I note, and I rise under Standing Order number 1, that there are no provisions for allowing the candidates any sort of presence. But there are equally no provisions that prevent their presence within the precincts of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, I wish to invoke and invite you, using Standing Order number 1, to allow the candidates, perhaps during voting, to access the Speaker's gallery or the members' gallery, as the case may be. I think it's just in order that the people we are voting for can witness the process of voting. That is my point of order and humble request, Mr. Speaker.
Order, honorable members. Order. Order, honorable members. Honorable Otienda Amolo, that is a very reasonable request, and I order that the candidates to be voted for, if they are within the precincts of Parliament, be given access to the Speaker's gallery so that they can sit up there and watch and see what is happening in the voting process. Can the division bell now be rung?
I don't know.
Oh, order. There is another point of order from Honorable Shakil and Okello.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Speaker, sir, Honorable Speaker, sir, maybe I did not hear,
Yeah, well done.
but what
Good.
I didn't see in any of your communication, and I don't know where the ballot allows for the independent candidates. I'm told there are one or two independent candidates. Can I seek your guidance on that?
Honorable Shakil, order, honorable members. Order. Honorable Shakil is asking a very pertinent question. The report that was tabled by the Honorable Wanjiku Muhia, who was the co-chair of the process, explained clearly that there was one independent candidate who was cleared by the presiding officers, but on scrutiny and on a report from IEBC, it was found that he didn't have the requisite signatures to make him a valid candidate. Honorable Okello.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I was just doing some mathematics off my head that if we are full house of 349 members, give and take 2 minutes each to cast their ballots, it will take us 11 hours, just as you predicted earlier, to be in this house voting. So I do not know the preparations we have from the clerk's standpoint, but if we have multiple booths, like say 4, 5, and we have people voting concurrently, then we are going to really save on a lot of time, Honorable Speaker. And we may not have to be done at 6, as you had earlier predicted. We could be done by 2 o'clock, and we can engage in other tangible businesses, Honorable Speaker. I thank you.
Let's move from the known to the unknown and see how far we go. Remember that our standing orders allows us to vote and continue with business until midnight. So if we don't finish in good time, or if there is a tie between candidates, you will be obliged to repeat, and we have time up to midnight. Clerk, can we have now the division bell?
Mogeni Eric Okongo. Mohamed Shakila Abdallah. Montet Betty Batuli. Muma Catherine Muyeka. Mundigi Alexander Munyi. Mundigi Alexander Munyi. Mungatana Danson Buya. Morango James Kamau. Mudhama Agnes Kavindu. Mutinda Maureen Tabitha. Mwaruma Jones Mwashushe. Mwenda Gataya.
Sarah Peter Francis, Suna West. Masara Peter Francis, Suna West. Lomwa Joseph Samal, Isiolo North. Lomwa Joseph Samal, Isiolo North. Mumo Rose Museo, Makueni County. Koskei Jackson Kipkomoi, nominated member. Koskei Jackson Kipkomoi, nominated member. Ainapkoi Chepkonga Kip Ainamoi Langat Benjamin Kipkorui. Aldai Kitani Marien Jebet. Alego Usonga, Atandi Samuel Onunga, Awendo, Owino John Walter, Bahati, Mrembo Irene Joki. Sabatia Longova Sloya Clement. Balambala Surie Abdi Omar. Banisa Hassan Kulo Maalim. Baringo Sagon Florence Jamatia. Baringo Central Kandie Joshua Shepyogon. Baringo North Kipkoros Joseph Makilap. Baringo South Kamuren Charles. Belgut Koech Nelson. Washingishu Sholei Gladys Boss. Bobasi Momanyi Innocent Obiri. Bamachoge Borabu Barongo Obadia. Bamachoge Chache Alpha Miruka Ondieki. Bomet Lynette Chipkorir. Bomet Central Kilel Richard Cheriot. Bomet East Yeron Richard Kipkomoy. Bonchari Mamwacha Onchoke Charles. Bondo Ogola Gideon Oganda. Borabu Esero Patrick Kibagendi. Budalangi, Wanjala Rafael Sauti Bita, Bumula Wamboka Nelson Jack Wamboka, Bungoma Wambilianga Catherine Nanjala, Bura Yakub Ado Kuno, Bureti Kimingoi Kibet Kirui, Busia Omanyo Catherine Nahabi, Butere Mwalo Nicholas Tindi. Butula Oyula Joseph Maero, Buuri Rindikiri Mogambi, Central Imendi Kirima Moses Nguchine, Changamwe Shimwa Omar Munye, Chepalungu Koech Victor Kipngetich, Cherengani Barasa Patrick Simiu, Chesumei Diego Paul Kibichi. Sigowet Soin, Kimei Justice Kipsang, Chuka Igambangombe, Twiga Patrick Munene, Dadaab Maalim Farah, Dagoretti North, Elachi Beatrice, Dagoretti South, Waweru John Kiaria, Kwanza Wanyonyi Ferdinand Kevin, Eldama Ravin, Sirma Musa Rotich, Elders Walie Adan Keinan, Elgoyo Marakwet, Caroline Jepto, Embakasi Central, Gatiru Benjamin, Embakasi East, Ngili Babu Owino, Embakasi North, Gakuya James Mwangi, Embakasi South, Mawade Julius Musili, Embakasi West, Mwenje Mark Samuel. Embu, Double N Pamela Njoki, Mgwen, Lel Mengit, Kipto, Emuha, Omboko Milemba Jeremiah, Emarua Dikir, Kipiogon Johanna Ngeno, Endebes, Ukose Robert, Fafi, Yakub Farasala, Funyula Oundo Wilberforce Odiambo, Galole, Hiribai Said Buya. Ganze, Tungule, Charo Kenneth Kazungu, Garissa, Siad Amina, Garsen, Guyo Ali Wario, Gatanga, Gatanga, Muriu Wakili Edward. Gatundu North, Kururia Elijah Njore Njoroge. Gatundu South, Kagombe Gabriel Gatuka. Game, Odhiambo Elisha Ochieng. Gichugu, Gidinji Robert Gichimu. Gilgil, Wanjira Martha Wangari. Githunguri, Wamuchomba Gadoni. Hamisi, Gimose Charles Gumini. Homa Bay, Osogo Bensuda Joyce. Homa Bay Town, Kaluma George Peter. Igembe Central, Karido Daniel. Igembe North, Julius Taitumu. Igembe South, Murigi John Paul. Ijara, Abdi Ali. Ikolomani, Inyali Bernard Masaka. Isiolo, Bonaya Mumina Golo. Isiolo South, Tubi Bidu Mohammed, Jomvu, Badi Badi Twalib, Juja, Dungu George, Kabete, Wamasukuru James Gidua Kamau, Kabondo Kapsipul, Obara Eve Akinyi, Kabuchai, Kalasinga Joseph Simiu, Kachelia Titus Lote, Kaiti, Kimilu Joshua Kivinda, Kajiado, Sankaire Lea Sopiato, Kajiado Central, Kanchori Elijah Memusi, Kajiado East, Hamisi Kakuta Maimai, Kajiado North, Guro Onesmus Gogoyo, Kajiado South, Sakimba Parasina, Kajiado West, Risa Sankuya George. Sawa. Kakamega, Mohanda Elsie. Kaloleni, Katana Paul Kahindi.
Honorable Senate, kindly take your seats. The voting exercise is now concluded. We have to proceed to counting and tallying. Before we go to the next stage, I'd wish to appoint 2 senators as tallying agents, one from each side, either side of the House. On the side of Azimio, Honorable Senator Siengo. On the side of Kenya Kwanza, the Honorable Senator Tabitha Mutinda. You may proceed, Clerk.
So, Honorable Senators, we will now, in the presence of the counting agents, unlock the box, empty the contents thereof, and commence the counting. We are ready now. The ballot box will be emptied and the counting will commence in the presence of the Senate.
we want to start. The first one is Charles Frederick. We are starting with the Kenya Kwanza Alliance. The first one is Charles Frederick Muteti. Then Iman Falda Deko. Iringo Cyprian Kubai. Kering Zipora Jesang. Mwangi Godfrey Maina. Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya Coalition Party. Ali Fatuma Gedi. Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka. No, you're okay, you're okay. Odinga Winnie Imgad. Shabal Suleiman Said. The last one. Are we okay? Kenya Kwanza Coalition, you have seen they have marked 3, is okay. Then under Azimio la Umoja, he has marked 3, it is okay. We start. We start with Kenya Kwanza Alliance, Aden Abdikadir Omar, Charles Frederick Muteti, Sankok Ded Ole. Azimio la Umoja, One Coalition. I hope you're okay. Ali Fatuma Gedi. Dirie Abdullahi Mohammed. Shabal Suleiman Said. Are you okay? Under Kenya Kwanza Coalition, we have a maximum of 5. Under Azimio la Umoja, we have a maximum of 4, which is okay. So we proceed. We'll start. Charles Frederick Muteti. Hassan Omar Hassan. Iman Falhada Deko. David Ole Sankok. Tommy Tom Lillian Chepto. Are we okay? Under Azimio la Umoja, One Coalition, Ali Fatuma Gedi, Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, Kega James Madenge Kanini, then Shabal Suleiman. Are we okay? So under Kenya Kwanza Coalition, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And under Azimio, we have 4. So okay, we can proceed. Kenya Kwanza Alliance, Aden Abdikadir Omar, Charles Frederick Muteti, Hassan Omar Hassan, Iman Falhada Deko, Kering Zipora Jesang Krugat. Under Azimio la Umoja, Ali Fatuma Gedi, Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, Odinga Winnie Imgad, lastly Shabal Suleiman Said. Are we okay? Under Kenya Kwanza Coalition, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. It's below, it's okay. Under Azimio la Umoja is 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're okay. We start with Kenya Kwanza Alliance, Aden Abdikadi Omar, Mwangi Godfrey Maina, Sankok David Ole, then Tom Lillian Chepto. Under Azimio la Umoja One coalition, we have Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, Kega James Madhenge Kanini, Odinga Winnie Imgad, then Shabal Suleiman Said. You okay? Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's okay, that's the maximum. Then Azimio, we have 4. So we start Aden Abdikadi Omar, Charles Frederick Teti, Han Omar Hassan, Iman Falhada Deko, Iringo Cyprian Kubai. Under Azimio la Umoja One coalition, Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, Kega James Madhenge, Odinga Winnie Imgad, Shabal Suleiman Said. We are good? Under Kenya Kwanza, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Under Azimio is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we proceed. The first one, Hassan Omar Hassan. So Hassan Omar Hassan, Iman Falhada Deko, Kering Zipora Kurgat, Mwangi Godfrey Maina, David Ole Sankok. You okay? Under Azimio la Umoja, Ali Fatuma Gedi, Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, Odinga Winnie Imgad, Shabal Suleiman Said. Are we okay? Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Under Azimio, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we proceed. Charles Frederick Muti, under Kenya Kwanza, Hassan Omar Hassan, Iman Falhada Deko, Kering Zipora Jesang Krugat, and lastly, David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja, we have Ali Fatuma Gede, Bosire Timothy Museti, Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, and lastly, Kega James Madenge Kanini. We are good? Kenya Kwanza is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Under Azimio la Umoja is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are okay, we can proceed. Starting with Kenya Kwanza, Aden Abdikadir Omar, Hassan Omar Hassan, Iman Falhada Deko, Mwangi Godfrey Maina, David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition, we have Bosire Timothy Museti, Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, Kega James Madenge Kanini, lastly, Odinga Winnie Imgad. You okay? Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 3 votes there. Under Azimio la Umoja is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's fine. Kenya Kwanza Alliance, Aden Abdikadir Omar, Charles Frederick Muteti, and Hassan Omar Hassan. Under Azimio la Umoja, we have Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, Kega James Madenge Kanini, Odinga Winnie Imgad, lastly Shabal Suleiman Said. You're good? Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And under Azimio la Umoja, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we start. Charles Frederick Muteti, Hassan Omar Hassan, Iman Falhada Deko, Kering Zipora Jesang Krugat, lastly David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja, Ali Fatuma Gedi, Bosire Timothy Museti, Kega James Madenge Kanini, lastly Shabal Suleiman Said. You okay? Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are good. Azimio is 1, 2, 3, 4. Then let's start. Aden Abdikadi Omar, Charles Frederick Muteti, Hassan Omar Hassan, Iman Falhada Deko, then Kering Zipora Jisang Krugat. Under Azimio la Umoja, we have Ali Fatuma Gedi, Busire Timothy Moseti, then Mugali Justus Kizito, lastly Odinga Winnie Imgad. We are good? Under Kenya Kwanza, we have 1, 2, 3, which is okay. Then Azimio is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can proceed. The first one is Iringo Cyprian Kubai. Then Kering Zipora Jesang Krugat. Lastly, Mwangi Godfrey Maina. Iringo, then Kering Zipora Jesang Krugat, then Mwangi Godfrey Maina. Under Azimio la Umoja One coalition, we start with Ali Fatuma Gedi, Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, Kega James Madhenge Kanini, lastly Odinga Winnie Imgad. We okay? Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Azimio la Umoja, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We proceed. The first one is Charles Frederick Muteti. The second one, Hassan Omar Hassan. Then Iman Falhada Deko. Then Kering Zipora Jesang Krugat. And lastly, Mwangi Godfrey Maina. Under Azimio la Umoja, we have Ali Fatuma Gedi, Busire Timothy Moseti, Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, lastly, Shabal Suleiman Said. You okay? Under Kenya Kwanza, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Then under Azimio is 1, 2, 3, 4. The first one is Charles Frederick Muteti. Hassan Omar Hassan. Iman Falhada Deko. Then Kering Zipora Jesang Krugat. Lastly, David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja, we have Ali Fatuma Gedi, then Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, then Odinga Winnie Imgad, and lastly, Shabal Suleiman Said. Are you okay? Under Kenya Kwanza is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Under Azimio is 1, 2, 3, 4. The first one, Charles Frederick Muteti. Then Hassan Omar Hassan. Then Iman Falhad Adeko. Then Kering Zipora Jesang Kurgat. And lastly, David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja, we have Bosire Timothy Mosetti. Then Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka. Then Mugali Justus Kizito. And lastly, Odinga Winnie Imgad. We are good? Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the next one, we don't, yeah, just blank. Yeah, so we are good. So let's start with Charles Frederick Muteti. Then Hassan Omar Hassan. Then Iman Falhad Adeko. Then Kering Zipora Jesang Kurgat. Lastly, David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja, there is no marking. Tuko sawa?
Honorable Senators, that is not a spoiled vote, and it has been counted, and we proceed. Please look at the rules carefully. Please look at the rules carefully. That is not a spoiled vote, so long as you have not voted more than 4 or more than 5 on either side. Proceed.
Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Under Azimio la Umoja is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are good. We start with Aden Abdikadir Omar. Then Hassan Omar Hassan. Then Iman Falhad Adeko. Then Kering Zipora Jesang Kurgat. Then lastly, David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja One coalition, we have Ali Fatuma Gedi, Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, Kega James Madenge Kanini, and lastly, Odinga Winnie Imgad. Tuko sawa? Under Kenya Kwanza, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Azimio is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he has marked. Yeah, so.
That's a spoiled ballot. It is spoiled because it's 5 and 5. It's spoiled. It is a spoiled ballot.
So we mark, eh? This is under Kenya Kwanza. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's within. Under Azimio is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Total is 10. It's spoiled.
So you okay? Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's good. Under Azimio is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are good. The first one is Charles Frederick Muteti, then Hassan Omar Hassan, then Iman Falhada Deko, then Kering Zipora Jesang Krugat, and lastly, David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja, we have Ali Fatuma Gedi, Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, Mugali Justus Kizito, and lastly, Odinga Winnie Imgad. Are you okay? Under Kenya Kwanza, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Under Azimio, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're okay. The first one is Aden Abdikadir Omar, then Iman Falhada Deko, then Lowoia Rebecca, then Mwangi Godfrey Maina, lastly David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja, we have Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, Kega James Madenge Kanini, Odinga Winnie Imgad, lastly Shabal Suleiman Said. Are we good? Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And under Azimio la Umoja, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's okay. The first one is Charles Frederick Muteti. The second one is Iman Falhada Deko. Then Kering Zipora Jesang Krugat. Then Mwangi Godfrey Maina. Lastly, David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja 1 coalition is Ali Fatuma Gedi, Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, then Odinga Winnie Imgad, lastly Shabal Suleiman Said. You're good? Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, which is within the limits. Under Azimio, we have 1, 2, which is okay. We start with Charles Frederick Muteti, then Iringo Cyprian Kubai, then Mwangi Godfrey Maina, lastly, Sheikh Yasser Ali. Sheikh Yasser Ali. Under Azimio la Umoja, we have Kega James Madenge Kanini, Kioni Jeremiah Ngayu, and that's all. Okay? Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Under Azimio is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's good. Starting with Kenya Kwanza is Charles Frederick Muteti, then Hassan Omar Hassan, then Iman Falhada Deko, then Mwangi Godfrey Maina, lastly Sheikh Yasser Ali. Under Azimio la Umoja, Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, Kega Madenge Kanini, then Odinga Winnie Imgad, lastly Shabal Suleiman Said. You're good? Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And under Azimio is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's okay. The first one is Aden Abdikir Omar, then Hassan Omar Hassan, then Iman Falhada Deko, then Mwangi Godfrey Maina, then Nyambane Joel Okengo. Under Azimio, we have Ali Fatuma Gedi, Bosire Timothy Moseti, Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, and lastly, Mugali Justus Kizito. Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, which is okay. Then under Azimio, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We are good. The first one is Aden Abdikadir Omar, then Charles Frederick Muteti, then Hassan Omar Hassan, then Iman Falhada Deko. Under Azimio Moja, we have Ali Fatuma Gedi, Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, Kega James Madenge Kanini, and lastly, Shabal Suleiman Said. You're good? Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And under Azimio is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. The first one under Kenya Kwanza is Charles Frederick Muteti, Hassan Omar Hassan, Iman Falhada Deko, then Kering Zipora Jesang Krugat, lastly Mwangi Godfrey Maina. Under Azimio la Umoja, we have Ali Fatuma Gedi, then Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, then Odinga Winnie Imgad, lastly Shabal Suleiman Said. Okay. Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're good. And under Azimio, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're okay. So under Kenya Kwanza is Charles Frederick Muteti, Hassan Omar Hassan, Iman Falhada Deko, Kering Zipora Jesang Krugat, then Mwangi Godfrey Maina. Under Azimio la Umoja, we have Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, Kega James Madenge Kanini, then Odinga Winnie Imgad, and lastly, Shabal Suleiman Said. You're good? Under Kenya Kwanza, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Then under Azimio la Umoja is 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's start with Kenya Kwanza. The first one is Charles Frederick Muteti, then Hassan Omar Hassan, then Iman Falhada Deko, then Kering Zipora Jesang Krugat, lastly, David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja, we have Ali Fatuma Gedi, then Kega James Madenge Kanini, then Odinga Winnie Imgad, and lastly, Shabal Suleiman Said. Okay? So Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have just, there are 2, which is okay, it's within the limits. Then under Azimio, we have 1, 2, 3. So we proceed and do the counting. The first one is Iringo Cyprian Kubai, then Mwangi Godfrey Maina. Under Azimio la Umoja, we have Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, then Kega James Madenge Kanini, and lastly, Odinga Winnie Imgad. We are good? Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, within. Then under Azimio Moja, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first one is Charles Frederick Muteti, then Iman Falhada Deko, then Mwangi Godfrey Maina. Under Azimio la Umoja, we have Bosire Timothy Museti, then Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, then Kega James Mdenge Kanini, and lastly, Shabal Suleiman Said. You okay? Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And under Azimio, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So, good. The first one, under Kenya Kwanza, is Hassan Omar Hassan. Then Iman Falhada Deko. Then Iringo Cyprian Kubai. Then Mwangi Godfrey Maina. We started with Iringo Cyprian Kubai, then Mwangi Godfrey Maina, then David Ole Sankok. Azimio la Umoja is Ali Fatuma Gedi, then Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, then Kega James Madenge Kanini, and lastly, Shabal Suleiman Said. You're good? Under Kenya Kwanza, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we are good. Under Azimio, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. The first one is Hassan Omar Hassan under Kenya Kwanza. Then Iman Falhada Deko. Then Iringo Cyprian Kubai. Then Iringo Cyprian Kubai. Then Kering Zipora Jesang Krugat. And lastly, David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja coalition, the first one is Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka. Then Kega James Madenge Kanini. Then Odinga Winnie Imgad. And lastly, Shabal Suleiman Said. Sawa. Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And under Azimio la Umoja is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, then the first one under Kenya Kwanza is Charles Frederick Muteti. Then Hassan Omar Hassan. Then Iman Falhada Deko. Then Kering Zipora Jesang Krugat. Then lastly, David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja, we have Ali Fatuma Gedi, Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, then Kega James Madenge Kanini, and lastly, Shabal Suleiman Said. Okay? Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Under Azimio is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we start with Kenya Kwanza is Charles Frederick Muteti. Then Hassan Omar Hassan. Then Iman Falhada Deko. Then Kering Zipora Jesang Krugat. Lastly, David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio, we have Ali Fatuma Gedi, Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, then Odinga Winnie Imgad, lastly Shabal Suleiman Said. Tuko sawa? Under Kenya Kwanza, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Under Azimio, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Under Kenya Kwanza, Hassan Omar Hassan. Then Iringo Cyprian Kubai. Then Kering Zipora Jan Krugat. Then Mwangi Godfrey Maina. Lastly, David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja, we have Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka. Then Kega James Madenge Kanini. Then Odinga Winnie Imgad. And lastly, Shabal Suleiman Said. You okay? So Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Under Azimio, 3 and 4. Under Kenya Kwanza, we start with Hassan Omar Hassan. Then Iman Falhada Deko. Then Mwangi Godfrey Maina. Then David Ole Sankok. And lastly, To Ann Cherono. Under Azimio la Umoja, we have Bosire Timothy Moseti, Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, then Odinga Winnie Imgad, and lastly, Shabal Suleiman Said. Tuko sawa? Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Under Azimio is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So starting with Kenya Kwanza, we have Hassan Omar Hassan. Then Iman Falhada Deko. Then Kering Zipora Jesang Krugat. Then Mwangi Godfrey Maina. And lastly, Sankok David Ole. Under Azimio la Umoja, we start with Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka. Then Kega James Madenge Kanini. Then Odinga Winnie Imgad. And lastly, Shabal Suleiman Said. Good? Under Kenya Kwanza, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Under Azimio, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Under Kenya Kwanza, we have Charles Frederick Muteti. Then Hassan Omar Hassan. Then Iman Falhada Deko. Then Kering Zipora Jesang Kurgat. Then lastly, David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio, we have Bosire Timothy Moseti. Then Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka. Then Odinga Winnie Imgad. and lastly, Shabal Suleiman Said. Good? Under Kenya Kwanza, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Under Azimio, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So starting with Kenya Kwanza is Charles Frederick Muteti, then Hassan Omar Hassan, then Iman Falhada Deko, then Mwangi Godfrey Maina, and lastly, David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja, we have Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, Kega James Madenge Kanini, then Odinga Winnie Imgad, and lastly, Shabal Suleiman. Tuko sawa? Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Under Azimio, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Starting with Kenya Kwanza, the first one is Hassan Omar Hassan. Then Kering Zipora Jesang Krugat. That is Lowoya Rebecca. Then Mwangi Godfrey Maina. And lastly, David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja, we have Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka. Then Mugali Justus Kizito. Then Odinga Winnie Imgad. And lastly, Shabal Suleiman Said. You okay? Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Under Azimio is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Kenya Kwanza Alliance, Charles Frederick Muteti, Hassan Omar Hassan, Iman Falhada Deko, then Kering Zipora Jesang Krugat, and lastly, David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja, we start with Ali Fatuma Gedi, then Dirie Abdullahi Mohammed, then Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, and lastly, Shabal Suleiman Said. You proceed. Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Under Azimio, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is good. The first one under Kenya Kwanza is Charles Frederick Muteti. Then Iman Falhada Deko. Then Kering Zipora Jesang Krugat. Then Mwangi Godfrey Maina. Lastly, David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja, we start with Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, then Kega James Madenge Kanini, then Odinga Winnie Imgad, and lastly, Shabal Suleiman Said. Proceed. Under Kenya Kwanza, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And Azimio is just blank. So Kenya Kwanza is Aden Abdikadir Omar, then Charles Frederick Muteti, then Hassan Omar Hassan, then Iringo Cyprian Kubai, and lastly, Nyambane Joel Okengo. And under Azimio, it's not marked as you can see. Yeah. This one under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And under Azimio la Umoja is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So starting with the Kenya Kwanza, the first one is Hassan Omar Hassan. Then Iman Falhada Deko. Then Iringo Cyprian Kubai. Then Kering Zipora Jesang Kurgat. And lastly, Mwangi Godfrey Maina. Under Azimio, the first is Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka. Then Kega James Madenge Kanini. Then Mugali Justus Kizito. And lastly, Odinga Winnie Imgad. Tuko sawa? Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Under Azimio, you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's good. Under Kenya Kwanza is Charles Frederick Muteti. Then Hassan Omar Hassan. Then Iman Falhada Deko. Then Kering Zipora Jesang Kurgat. Then lastly, David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja, we start with Ali Fatuma Gedi. Then Bosire Timothy Moseti. Then Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka. And lastly, Shabal Suleiman Said. Proceed. Under Kenya Kwanza, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Under Azimio la Umoja is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we are good. The first one under Kenya Kwanza is Charles Frederick Muteti. Then Hassan Omar Hassan. Then Kering Zipora Jesang Kurgat. Then Mwangi Godfrey Maina. And lastly, David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja, we have Ali Fatuma Gedi. Then Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka. Then Odinga Winnie Imgad. Lastly, Shabal Suleiman Said. Tuko sawa? Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Under Azimio is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Starting with Kenya Kwanza, the first one is Charles Frederick Muteti. Then Hassan Omar Hassan. Then Iringo Cyprian Kubai. Then Lowoya Rebecca. Lastly, Mwangi Godfrey Maina. Under Azimio la Umoja, the first one is Ali Fatuma Gedi. Then Bosire Timothy Museti. Then Mugali Justus Kizito. And lastly, Nakusa Beatrice Asukul. You okay? Huh? You okay?
Esther.
But we had finished this one, eh? Tumemaliza.
Honorable Senators, one of the counting and tallying agents is tired and needs to be relieved, and that is Honorable Senator Tabitha Mutinda. Do we... Senator Joyce Korir, would you volunteer to be a... Oh, Esther. Thank you. Senator Esther will relieve Senator.
Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, which is within the limits. Under Azimio la Umoja, I just marked 2, which is okay. Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we start with Hassan Omar Hassan. Then Iringo Cyprian Kubai. Then Mwangi Godfrey Maina. Then under Azimio la Umoja, the first one is Dirie Abdullahi Mohammed. The next one is Kega James Madenge Kanini. There are only 2 marked. You are good? Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance is for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Under Azimio is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we are good. Okay, we start with Kenya Kwanza. The first one is Aden Abdikadir Omar. The next one is Charles Frederick Muteti. The next is Hassan Omar Hassan. The next one is Iman Falhad Adeko. And the last one is Kering Zipora Yesang Krugat. Under Azimio, we have Bosire Timothy Moseti, Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, Kega James Madenge Kanini, lastly, Odinga Winnie Imgad. Tuko sawa? Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Under Azimio, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the first one on Kenya Kwanza is Charles Frederick Muteti. Then Hassan Omar Hassan. Then Kering Zipora Jesang Kurgat. Then Mwangi Godfrey Maina. Then David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja, the first one is Ali Fatuma Gedi. The next one is Busire Timothy Museti. Then Dirie Abdullahi Mohammed. Lastly, Mugali Justus Kizito. You're good? Under Kenya Kwanza, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Under Azimio is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we are good. We're starting with Kenya Kwanza. Charles Frederick Muteti. Then Hassan Omar Hassan. Then Iman Falhada Deko. Then Kering Zipora Yang Kurgat. And lastly, David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja, the first one is Ali Fatuma Gedi. Then Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka. Then Odinga Winnie Imgad. Lastly, Shabal Suleiman Said. You are good? Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Under Azimio is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we are good. The first one is Charles Frederick Muteti. Then Hassan Omar Hassan. Then Iman Falhada Deko. Then Kering Zipora Jesang Kurgat. Lastly, Mwangi Godfrey Maina. Under Azimio la Umoja, we have Ali Fatuma Gedi, Bosire Timothy Moseti, then Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, and lastly, Shabal Suleiman Said. Are you okay? Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Under Azimio, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So under Kenya Kwanza, we start with Charles Frederick Muteti. Then Hassan Omar Hassan. Then Iman Falhada Deko. Then Kering Zipora Jesang Kurgat. And lastly, David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja, we start with Ali Fatuma Gedi, then Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, then Odinga Winnie Imgad, and lastly, Shabal Suleiman Said. You're good? Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Under Azimio la Umoja, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance is Charles Frederick Muteti, then Hassan Omar Hassan, then Iman Falhada Deko, then Kering Zipora Jesang Kurgat, and lastly, David Ole Sankoko. Under Azimio la Umoja, the first one is Bosire Timothy Moseti, then Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, then Odinga Winnie Imgad, lastly Shabal Suleiman Said. You're good? Under Kenya Kwanza Alliance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And under Azimio, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we are good. So starting with Kenya Kwanza Alliance, the first one is Charles Frederick Muteti, then Hassan Omar Hassan, then Iman Falhada Deko, then Kering Zipora Yesang Krugat, and lastly, David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja, Ali Fatuma Gedi, then Kega James Menge Kanini, then Mugali Justus Kizito, then Shabal Suleiman Said. You okay? Yeah. Lastly, under the Kenya Kwanza Alliance, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Under Azimio, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Starting with Kenya Kwanza, the first one is Hassan Omar Hassan, then Iman Falhada Deko, then Kering Zipora Jesang Krugat, then Mwangi Godfrey Maina, and lastly, David Ole Sankok. Under Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition, we have Ali Fatuma Gedi, Bosire Timothy Moseti, Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, and lastly, Kega James Madhenge Kanini.
Honorable Senators, the results have been counted and tallied. A total of 58 ballots was cast. Number of spoiled ballots, 2. Number of valid ballots, 56. And the following are the results of the vote cast per candidate. On the Kenya Kwanza Alliance, Aden Abdikadir Omar, 13 votes. Busaidi Saleh Muhammad, 0 votes. Charles Frederick Muteti, 39 votes. Hassan Omar, 46 votes. Iman Falhada Deko, 43 votes. Iringo Cyprian Kubai, 12 votes. Kering Zipora Jesang Kurgat, 37 votes. Kuko Jonas Mr. Vincent, 0 votes. Luwaya Rebecca, 3 votes. Mwangi Geoffrey Maina, 29 votes. Nyambane Joel Okengo, 2 votes. Sankok David Ole, 35 votes. Sheikh Yasir Ali, 2 votes. Tomitom Lilian Chepto, 2 votes. To Ann Cherono, 1 vote. For the Azimio Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party, Ali Fatuma Gedi, 31 votes. Bosire Timothy Moseti, 17 votes. Dirie Abdullah Muhammad, 4 votes. Kalonzo Kennedy Musyoka, 55 votes. Kega James Mathenge Kanini, 29 votes. Kioni Jeremiah Ngayu, 1 vote. Mugali Justus Kizito, 9 votes. Mutua Winfred Sionindi, 0 votes. Nakusa Beatrice Askul, 1 vote. Ndeti Helen Mueni, 0 votes. Odinga Ingad Winnie, 35 votes. Sherbal Suleiman Said, 38 votes. We shall, as a House, I will relay these results to the National Assembly in form of message, just like we'll await a message from the National Assembly so that we can conclude this exercise upon receipt of the message from the National Assembly. Next order, Clerk. The presiding officer kindly secure the ballots.
Order number 9, the county government's additional allocations, number 2 bill, Senate Bills number 4 of 2022, second reading.
Honorable Senators, after consultation, this order shall be deferred to today in the afternoon, and therefore we shall adjourn at this juncture and handle this matter in the afternoon. The House stands adjourned until 2:30.